Hey everybody, we're getting ready to try to clean out the duct work in our heating and cooling system. And first thing you want to do is make sure you got good shoes on. I put these on, climbing up and down ladders, and I was going up and down the ladder, and I said, man, my right foot, the toes don't feel right. It's very uncomfortable. And I couldn't figure it out until I finally looked closer, and lo and behold, I put the damn foot in didn't get in the shoe right. Yeah, and I'm going to work on the HVAC system. Anyways, I'm going to clean all this out real good. Get in here and clean this out. Because by having it really clean, then I'll be able to see just how much crap we managed to pull out of the system, and then we'll know if it was successful or not. System we got's a Goodman. It was installed on November 5th, 2002. It's 23 years old. I think maybe today's the 5th. And I was up there just the other day cleaning the coils on that A-frame, and that in itself, I don't know if it was that successful or not. You really can't get in there to do it. And we're going to go up in the attic here in a minute, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I also ordered this. This is for the outside condenser fan. It's brand new, and it's a counterclockwise system. And these are more expensive. It was hard to find, but I found it on eBay, of course. Now what I'm planning to do is I got a 7-foot run of hose here, of which I'm going to lose about 2 feet. But I guess I'll have about 6 feet that'll be inching its way over to where the the blower motor is, where, you get all this dust that comes through here and gets up there and goes through that A-frame. And 20-something years of dust has been collecting on the other side, and you can't get at it to clean it. And I've got this covered with plastic. I think it will help with, creating more suction. And let's go upstairs in the attic and take a look. So, well, the big vacuum will be on the, I'll call it the inlet side, that's, sucking all the air up through the filters. I will be up in the attic with this, trying to blow all the dust. Hopefully it will then get picked up by the big vacuum, and then we'll see how much I get out of it. Let's go upstairs. Maybe you've been up here with me before. Now, on a previous episode of me trying to save money, you saw me put in a new motor and, of course, another capacitor. And now we just went and turned the heat on last week, and things weren't right that night. You can see all that rust over there. And when I came up here, this pan was filled with water. And so I got some of that condenser cleaner stuff and sprayed it all on here. And that seems to have fixed up the problem. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it well or not, but the water was all accumulating down in this corner. And then it would run down and cross over, but over this side, it was filled with muck. And so I got in here and cleaned it all out, and now the water isn't accumulating anymore. And then I played around with here, and I got this so it's balanced. This pan was sticking up in the air in this corner. So I put it down, and I weighed it down with 2 solid gold bars out of Fort Knox that I have, that I'm hiding here in case, the end of the world comes. And it's really not gold. It's a nickel alloy. It's not worth crap, but I got a really funny story about it. Every time I look at these, I think of Knucklehead Numbskull Skills channel, and he used to melt down a lot of this stuff. And if it wasn't so expensive, I would have shipped it to you, but I don't think they allow you to ship gold bars in the U.S. Post Office anyways. So the point is, this blower motor blows the hot air that comes off these fins into a cold air if you got it on AC, and it blows it down that line to all the rooms. And then, of course, the air gets sucked back up buy the blower motor. It blows and sucks. And when it's doing that, the air's coming up through those big vents that I'm going to hook the hose up to through air filters. But of course, after 23 years, you're going to have dust that's going to accumulate on both sides of this. I'll call it an evaporator A-frame. Let's see how that is. Yeah, you got upstairs and downstairs, and you can't get at this thing from what I can tell. And this does not have a big air filter in here you can pull out. I've checked the other side also. It doesn't. The only filters that got it is the ones that are downstairs. And I've been good at changing them, but after 23 years, you know, there's got to be a lot of crud in here. So I'm hoping that with that blower motor, not the blower motor, the big vacuum with that black hose running from the vent, you know, the opening on the ceiling, and I'm hoping that hose will reach about here. That'll leave a few feet that it won't, but there'll be enough suction, you know, sucking the dust out of these as I blow them with that, you know, the compressor. And, you know, I plan to do it like for a good hour, back and forth between the two of them. And then even if I don't pick up a lot, maybe I'll loosen the dust up so that dust will break up some and come out. And maybe it's not even necessary, but I'm going to give it a try. And when I'm through, we'll show you a couple minutes of the operation itself. And then the proof in the pudding will be when we open up the big vacuums canister and see if there's anything in there. I'm going to clean that thing. It's going to be, you know, clean enough to eat off of almost when we start this operation.